Big night for me, Joe. It's my first time ever on any airwaves, podcasts, 98 Rock, WBAL with Chris Carlheim. How you doing, Chris?
I'm okay.
It's kind of my first time since I didn't let him speak last night.
It's funny. We're we log on and we see chat before we begin, and they're saying, "Wait, Carlheim's in," and I'm like, "How do they know that?" And like, did you post about it? We're
like,
literally stumped for a minute.
I thought it was such a big deal that it was just the rumors. What do you call it? They just started proliferating.
But really, you titled this DLP with Chris, and they just figured it out that it wasn't Chris Restivo.
We are dumb.
Yeah, we are stupid. Welcome to the show. You mentioned not letting him talk last time. Chat, welcome. Looks like you're packed and joyful and busy. And oh, happy birthday, Ariel! First of all,
happy birthday.
That. Yes, I have a lot of nice things to say about you, Ariel, but wait for Patreon Palooza where I say them all.
Happy birthday! I did listen to the SheLP. I have a problem.
Oh no.
Well,
it was minus Steph and Ariel.
Yeah, why are you going to have that episode with what they talked about at the beginning and not have Steph?
Because they talked about like sexual things.
Yeah, Steph is it's like saying, "Hey, we're gonna have a golf tournament. Let's not ask Tiger Woods to come."
Yeah,
we're
doing a podcast about 3-point shooting. Steph Curry's not out in this week.
We don't want him here.
Yeah,
we're not.
We're doing running quarterbacks. We Lamar and Vic can't make it. Now we have Phillip Rivers
and Mark Rippon.
All right. No, the show must go on, Joe. It's show business.
No, I understand.
Justin couldn't make it today. They had some sicknesses, but they pulled through. They're doing this just for free. You realize that?
No, I appreciate it. I do appreciate.
They know that, right? Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate that they did it, but even they know that Steph has to.
Sitting at home, just ready to has some theories.
She's the Usain Bolt of whatever they were talking about, right?
We've had Dork Dynasties without Justin. They're not as good, but we
right. But
that's hard to do.
This is a different thing. It'd be like
Joe's saying Steph is more into dick than Justin is in video
That's
games.
correct. Yeah, okay. She knows more about the male penis and balls and butthole.
Yeah,
and nipples. Yeah. Oh, believe me, she's
got all the controllers.
Whatever. Yes. Yeah. She knows a lot more about that than Justin knows about video games.
Yes.
That's impressive.
I thought it was great, ladies. So
she's like a Nobel Prize winner. You know what I'm saying?
Do you want me to put up a poll that you'll lose again?
What would the poll be?
Should they have done it without Steph or not?
Yes, put that poll up.
It's going up.
Should they have done this latest SheLP? Given the subject matter, you got to say given the subject matter.
Given the subject matter, but it's doing that versus you're saying versus not recorded versus new subject matter.
No, you need either or, right? The idea is given the subject matter. And she's one of the broadcasters on the show.
Sure, she's one of the big four.
Exactly, right? I mean, do you think that they're going to know something?
Jared's saying it was great. So look.
Of course it was great. Stop.
Would you have been happier?
Here I go again.
If the show content was different? Like if it was a different subject?
Well, sure, they could either change the subject, right?
And now they have to redo the whole show because they're last minute bailing?
Or reschedule to have Steph there.
Okay.
Right?
All right. Joe's always like, why am I always the bad guy? Case in point. I don't know. Because of this. Something that everyone's disagreeing with. Now, last time you were on, it was you, Carlheim, without me and Justin, and Stamboni. Yeah. And you were shot out of a cannon, I believe was the term that was used.
Yeah.
And
I think I was on cocaine.
You might have been. Yeah. And we've done this, a recent poll or the percentage of who talks the most. So I want everybody in the chat to, and we're going to do a 3-2-1 answer. What percentage tonight will be? We'll go Rob, Chris, Joe. Okay. So 33, 33, 33 would be obviously the same. So Rob, Chris, Joe, the percentages.
Has what happened already count towards that? Because already these are like 2%.
Okay. So from this point forward, okay.
All right. After we say our number, it's from that point on.
Exactly. Okay. All right. Do I have my answer? Okay.
This is you. We're doing first.
No, we're doing all three. You're going to go.
Oh, we got to go.
Rob,
boom,
Chris,
boom,
Joe.
boom.
So
okay.
40, 20, 40, for example. Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1, 30, 20, 50.
10, 45.
I said 30, 20, 50. Okay.
I said 45, 10, 45.
Okay.
Yeah, I said 40, 20, 40.
Okay. Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Justin says 45-55. Oh, Brittany giving me 60-20-20.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Britt.
20-10-70 from Scott. So, I mean, it's 40-10-50. Dave. So yeah, I'll try to talk. I'll try to. What would you as a producer, put on your producer hat, Chris Carl?
Okay.
What should they be?
Oh, it should be 40-40-20 at most. I mean, I'm not. Nobody's.
But you're the guest.
To see me.
No, you are the guest.
That's not true, by the way.
Yeah.
So let me just.
Not unless I'm yelling about something.
Okay.
Hey, do you know?
Well, you can yell.
Hey, if it was just Joe and I, and then we gave them the offer of adding you, well, 100% they'd add you.
Yes, no matter what.
They might have eliminated one of us to add you.
God, I'll tell you, man. I don't know how much I can reveal, but Chris sent his latest episode of. I said the name wrong. No one asked for this.
Yes, it's going to be on Patreon Palooza.
Nobody wants this.
Is that it? Nobody wants.
He's actually giving us.
Nobody asked for this.
He's claiming he's going to give us 2 episodes.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man. He doesn't need to. He can. This last one, I was chortling. I was chortling. Okay, we can't give away too much because the show's only like 18 minutes long, right?
16,
yeah. But he does some shit, man. I'm just going to give a little teeny little sprinkling of what you hear. Okay. So the subject is Chris has a problem. It's pretty much a specific Lifetime movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Which, he doesn't have to watch it. You don't have to watch it.
I mean,
there's no requirement. There's given the nature of television.
There's nothing else on.
I'm about to hit 50. Okay, but this is. I'll get out of the way.
All right. We'll see.
Once I set this up, but you can watch almost anything you want if you speak into it. Whatever you want to watch, you can watch. So there is something that draws you to these movies. Now, everything you say is pretty accurate. I mean, I know what you're saying is true. I'll give an example. He gets very, 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 very upset. About the idea that this lady goes to a library. The library's closing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's fall and it's light out. And what that means is that what's this library closing at 3:00? Is it closing at 3:30?
Yeah.
And then he starts researching to see when
you did research.
I called 3 different libraries.
He called
because I wanted to find out what their fall hours were.
Okay.
And if they changed it
all right.
Because I got to be accurate if I'm going to be pissed off.
You didn't look online. You called.
No, 100% I called.
This is Chris Carlheim from WBAL.
Update those fucking websites. Are you kidding?
Did you tell him who you were?
No, I didn't tell him who I were.
Honest to God, Joe, have you ever called a library in your life? Because I know I'm at 0.
Let me think.
You've had kids, so maybe you had to.
I can't imagine. Hey,
have you ever been in a library?
You ever say, when's the last time you've gone in a library?
Oh, it's been a long time.
Now, I went into a library because
now Joe makes a story about him. He's back, baby.
Somebody who used
I remember that story. You told it on the air, yeah.
She went into a room that was the quiet room.
Right.
And she was on a conference call. I'm not going to say her name, but she used to live here.
Yeah.
Dave says Robbie has called a library for sure. He's complaining.
Well, remember Mike Chamberlain he didn't have a computer.
He'd do the podcast out in the library.
He'd go to the library.
He'd come on with us.
That's where he'd meet his actors and actresses.
Exactly.
All right. So you called this library and you talked to the librarian?
Yeah. So I talked to 3 different librarians, one in Baltimore City.
Okay. I want to do the conversation.
Yeah.
Hello, it's the Robinson Library.
Hi, what time are your fall hours?
Our hours are 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. every Monday through Sunday.
Okay, every day, Monday through Sunday, you're 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Other than Christmas, Thanksgiving, 4th of July.
Okay, thank you.
Did you say regardless of the season?
Yeah.
Regardless of the season.
I was just asking
fall
for
hours.
fall.
Okay.
Because they made explicitly clear in the movie that it was fall season.
I've never heard of fall hours for a library.
I've never heard of hours. I don't even know what they...
Well, they changed because of school. Like in the summertime,
Okay.
they're
They
open longer.
do change.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me ask you this.
Do you not read?
When you... No. Matter of fact, that's part of my next podcast.
Yes, which we'll tease there a little bit.
But did you... When you asked their fall hours, they didn't say... Why the hell do you need to know that?
It's a weird question.
It is weird.
In middle of summer.
Well, it's July 1st.
I mean, you could be thinking about trying to plan for your kids.
Really?
It's the middle of July, middle of June, end of June.
Really? What's your Halloween hours? It's fucking July. Are you a weirdo?
Yes, I'm a weirdo.
Okay. Do you realize that there's someone on that end complaining about you? This
100%.
motherfucker called me when I knew my fall hours
Yeah, and
on June 30th.
there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
And if they would have challenged me on it, I would happily yell over the phone. But
Yeah.
they didn't challenge me.
Did you
because they're
say-
old people?
If they said, "Hey, why?" Just out of curiosity, why do you want to know when our fall hours are? Would you say, "I'm researching the continuity of a Lifetime movie that I watched"?
I would have said I'm watching a movie, and in the movie they're closing at, let's say, 3:00 during fall. Is that a time that you would close? The other part,
He
hold on.
seriously wants to know.
Yeah, well, so
Well, he knows the answer, but he
Yeah.
just wants to make sure.
Yeah.
I won't
that
give a
he's-
lot away on this, but
Alright.
the real thing that pissed me off here was that she closed the library. She put the hi in 5 minutes the library will be closing, and then walks the fuck out.
Yeah.
Well, what are we
Yeah.
doing?
Oh,
You can't just walk out
Yeah.
of your job.
You
I
got.
love it when he goes, "What are we doing?"
You gotta wrap
Yeah.
things up, right?
Yeah.
You have to close the store. You got to close the library.
What time do you don't really have a time you get off work. You just leave when it's
I get in, like today I got in at 5:45 and I
Right.
left at 5:30.
All right.
yeah.
I have a
and
few
do you
things.
just get up and walk out no matter what's happening.
Well,
Do
I
you
make sure
finish up
everything's
your emails?
done.
Right.
Yeah,
you finish
yeah.
your work.
Yeah, I finish everything. I mean, obviously the radio station's still happening. It
Yeah,
can
it's
happen with
24
not
hours.
me being
Mhm.
there.
Now,
Yeah.
I've had a few things that have happened to me on the road recently that have made me think of you.
Mhm.
They're annoying things. They're not like, they're kind of in your wheelhouse of things to complain about. So I'm going to describe a situation
Okay.
and then we'll just bounce around, Joe and I, and you can, the 1 to 10, how
Okay.
angry that would make you. Okay.
Can we also guess how angry it would make?
That's
him?
what I mean. Yeah,
Oh,
we'll
okay,
guess.
got
Yes,
it,
yes, yes. So Dave and I we had to go from Oklahoma City to Tulsa. And because we had shows Friday and Saturday, Oklahoma City, OKC, two shows Sunday night in Tulsa. Well, Sunday, late afternoon, early evening. It's about a 2-hour drive.
Okay.
And we get there, we have the show's at like 4. So we have to get there. The check-in technically is at 3, but you don't want to get there at 3 because the show's, you want to have a little time to fucking eat. And there's a
Yeah.
brunch place. So we get there like 12:30. And they say, well, your rooms aren't ready. Like, okay, well, how much longer? Probably about an hour. Okay. We go. There's a place right next door. We've been there before. We have brunch. And then we come back and it's still not ready. I goes, anything we can do? Oh, well, like there's you requested a king bed. There's 2 queens ready. That's been ready for a while, but not what you requested. Well, why don't you just tell us? I don't fucking give a fuck about the king queen. I want a bed and a bathroom. That's all I want. If one's open, whatever's open first, that's what I want. Okay. Why wouldn't you know as your job?
Give you that as an
The
option.
king isn't available that you requested, but we do have this. Wouldn't that be the obvious thing to say? Because as a thing you should just know on day one, right?
Right, but also and maybe you might be that would be upset if you were a layperson, but to add on to that, there's someone obviously of prominence. You'd think that they would kind of go out of their way to make sure that
Make
person,
a small bit of effort.
right, just something
Yes.
to make sure that this person
Just say we don't have. I know you wanted this room, and we'll gladly hold that for you. But if you want to get in right now, we can do this room. It just seems like a thing that, having never worked at a hotel, that I would just know instinctively.
they told you that after you ate brunch.
After
Okay.
the room, we could have already been in the room. And they-
Now,
yes. So
before you answer, first of all, do you have any questions before
Yeah.
you decide how mad you are?
Yes.
Okay.
What time was check-in?
check-in was at 3.
Okay.
We got there.
Did they have early check-in?
If they did, we didn't book that.
Okay.
Okay. By the way, Robbie, just letting you
Mm-hmm.
know, he will never use that place again, and he will go write a review.
There you go.
That's just so. So, how mad would Chris be if that happened to
We're
him?
talking about on a Carheim scale of 1 to 10. Like,
Right,
not
right.
like 10, you murdered my fucking family.
Right,
Just the regular
Right.
daily
Okay.
things. Okay.
I'll get 10.
8.
9.
Yeah. Okay.
Because
Okay.
look, if
Yeah.
I'm there and they have the room,
Yeah.
any room,
Right.
I have my shit. Let me put my shit down
Yes.
and go about my day.
I want to take a shit before the show. Is it that complicated? Do we understand how this
what
works?
the fuck are
right.
they doing?
Right. Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
would you yell at that person?
No. But so I yell behind the microphone,
Right.
but in regular life, I normally just stand and look angry.
And seethe.
And being tall, people are like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
I'm
you're gonna be
sorry."
intimidating.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got
If
you.
I was like Ariel's husband, Tim Big,
Yeah.
it would be, I'd be way scarier.
Have you been into a fist fight?
Oh yeah, a ton of them.
Oh, you
I
have?
was
A
bouncer.
ton?
Yeah.
How many fist fights have you been in?
40.
God, I wonder who's
Wow.
been in more fights, Tommy or Chris.
Tommy's won more fights. I'll tell you that.
Yes.
I'm gonna text Tommy while we're here.
Okay,
to
that's
find
good.
out how many fist fights
Uh,
he's been in.
Let me see. Brittany says Carlos only goes as low as 6. All right. Second one. This has happened a couple times. Okay. This is a minor one. This happens a lot. This is minor. We'll ask the person at the hotel front desk. Anybody serving breakfast this time? Or if it's late at night, any food around here that serves late? And they never know. They act like they're the guest in the hotel. They're out of town. They act like they're surprised that we're asking. They're like, "Oh, I'm only in this part I only work here. I don't want to hang out in this area." Isn't this a normal question to a front desk person? What's the restaurants within walking distance? What's open? What serves late? What's this? I'm telling you, half the time they act like, how would I fucking know?
Well, they should know, but don't
Right.
they have a concierge? Is it kind of that
We're
kind
not
of hotel?
always staying at
Right,
nice
I got
hotels.
you.
Yes, at a nicer hotel, you don't run into that. But some of these are just your Holiday Inn Expresses and your run-of-the-mill Residence Inns and shit. So 1 to 10.
Question.
Yes.
How old was the person behind the counter?
They're usually like early 20s.
Oh yeah, they should definitely know. But
Yeah.
maybe here's the thing:
Mhm.
where somebody in their early 20s would go, I probably wouldn't go.
Well, if it's breakfast,
for
who's
food.
serving breakfast?
Oh yeah,
late,
yeah. Sorry.
Now late night,
Yes.
I'll go where anyone could.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I mean, obviously they should know. Now you want to before you. Do you have any questions about this?
That was my only question.
All right.
okay.
I'm gonna go 7.
8.
7.
Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. Good. Okay. All right.
Man.
Along the lines, we'll go into a restaurant. Again, we're getting up late, so it's the 11:30 to 12:30 range. We're looking for brunch, essentially, or breakfast. But we say, "Are you guys?" Because it's like a Sunday. It's a day that you would serve. You would have a later breakfast.
Yeah.
We'll go to the fucking hostess. Do you guys still serving breakfast? This happened multiple times. All right. We do have brunch though.
Oh my God.
Sorry, no, I can only eat eggs and bacon if there's not also a burger option. Like, what the
I'm sorry,
fuck?
you have more options.
Jesus.
All right.
Okay.
So really, the answer was yes. They were just stupid. Nothing really changed about
Right.
what you got to eat. Do you have any questions, by the way?
No.
Okay. How mad is he?
10.
Hey, yeah, it makes him super mad.
10. Yeah.
I didn't get my guess out.
You can tell, yeah.
I can already tell you.
Yeah.
Like I would yell at that person.
Yes.
Like, wait, I just asked you if they have breakfast, and you're like, oh no, we have brunch. What are you going to tell me about dinner next and second dinner? Fuck you. Sorry, no, we're not supposed
Okay.
to curse as much on this.
All right. Another thing, we're getting out of the hotel area.
Mhm.
So, we have our writer for the trivia show, and I think it's pretty fucking hard to not understand, but whatever. We go to this place recently, and in the request, a table and 2 chairs on the stage. I'm also in the request going to want to hook my laptop up, so it's pretty obvious that the laptop is going to go on the table and not where he's sitting there. So we show up recently, and they'd already been emailing all these questions. So I assume when I got there, everything would just be ready. And there's nothing on the stage, which is no big deal. The doors aren't open yet. And then they bring out 2 high top tables. And then they set 2 low top chairs. And I'm like, did you not think these were they're in tandem, right? They're not decoration. They're supposed to be functional. So imagine I'm sitting here
Okay.
and the table is right here. Hi, I'm on my laptop.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make any. I literally can't. My head is not going to reach the table. So they don't work in tandem.
Yeah.
1 to 10.
Well, before you do
you have
that,
any questions? Yeah.
so do you have any questions?
I guess my only question is, how big is said club?
This is a theater. It seats 700 people. It's a giant stage, bigger than Magooby's stage.
Okay.
Now, the other thing is, if Chris is sitting there, is he going to be, because of his height, is he going to be able to?
They're not close.
They're not close.
No, it's
So
there's
even
no
for me, it's
way.
like this.
No, I have to stand. It's the proper height to stand and be on a laptop. And that's the height
Right,
you
I
would have
got you. Right.
That's all it's for.
All right. You need the
Yeah,
chair.
or a high top chair.
How
Now you can have a
angry-
high top chair, like a bar stool, high top. I'm gonna go 9.
I say 8.
I need to explain my answer.
Okay.
So if it's high enough for you, but not for me,
It's not high enough for anybody
well,
to
what
sit
I'm saying to stand.
in this size.
If
chair.
I can't stand because
Yeah.
I got to bend over all the way
Yeah.
because the table's not high enough, and I can't sit, I'm at a 14 because now I have
see.
there's 2 options.
That's
and I
true.
can't do
They've
either
double
one.
fucked you.
He's got to
Yeah.
go there to see how angry he's going
You have to get on your knees on the chair.
If it's a high top table that I could stand at, I'm less angry. But
Okay. Okay. All right. Last one, and then we'll take a break. And I'm not going to say the club. The reality is that this is a different club. The crowd was great. The money was very good. I would do this 1,000 times over again, and I will get the money eventually. But it is a little frustrating that this was a complication. I'm changing the numbers, but the point is still the same. Let's say that I hired Joe and Chris to do whatever. I hired you to do a live podcast together, and I'm guaranteeing you $1,000. And you say, accept it in the contract. We would like 70% to go to Joe and 30% to go to Chris.
makes sense.
And then I pay you, and I go, yeah, I just paid Joe the money. I couldn't understand the contract.
Oh, I don't even need to ask.
Okay. I'm not exaggerating
No.
this to make it.
I don't-
There's not any extra information.
I don't
There
care.
was a bonus if you hit like
Yeah.
a certain number that we didn't get close to hitting. So this was always going to be
Yeah.
from 3 weeks out. The check was going to be for X.
Yeah.
And the breakdown was going to be
Yeah.
again easily. And I'm not, the breakdowns that I gave are not the same, but they're the same in terms
Yeah,
of the
but
math.
also
They're
for
round
tax
numbers.
purposes, that really is kind of fucks you guys, or fucks him really, because
Yeah.
he now has to hand you like I don't need to ask.
I'll-
It's a 10. He's going to be furious about it.
Because like,
What are they?
I don't know how they don't understand it.
I mean, people are stupid.
Yeah.
I get it. People are dumb, and this goes back to the same like tipping, like oh, I can't do the percentage, so I just round up, or like, oh, I think it might be $4.20, so I'll just give them $4, or
They
just
almost
$5.
never just nail it. There's always questions.
Well, they always put it on the check now, but I tip more than it's on there because I tip 20% of the bill and they do 20% of it pre-tax. Who does that? Who tips
Pre-tax?
pre-tax? Yes. So if you actually did 20% of your bill, it wouldn't be
Right.
the 20% that's on there. They're literally taking it before the tax is added, and they're giving that percentage.
Really?
Yeah, check it out the next time.
I have to do some research on that.
They're wondering about the seats. They says that either Rob or Joe are sitting on booster seats. They think they gave you a tiny chair, Chris. I think that
I
one is a
have to
little
sit
lower,
low.
actually.
I
It is a
pushed
little
this all the
lower.
way down. Yeah.
No, Rob has a lower chair for sure.
No,
that's true.
I pulled it down.
You put it down.
Yeah.
So-
Dave, thank you. I come up with the best games. The Angry Chris scale is a
But
home
he
run.
also said Rob does interactive, and then Jared goes, Joe could learn something.
Hey, if you want to learn something about roofing or about the law, listen to our sponsors. Be right back.
So what Jared said is so not true. So when I do the news,
oh boy,
when I do the news,
Yeah.
and Chris will confirm this. You're not awake, probably to hear me.
Never.
When I do it, I always go, all right, this person this. I go, guess how many? Every time I make those guys guess something about what's in the story. Guess
Sure.
how much a tank of bull semen costs. Did you hear me tell that?
I did.
I constantly. That's
well,
not
but
correct.
they're saying on the DLP agenda, it's a
All right.
different
Well,
thing.
maybe I'm not getting.
You're not a
the
guest.
Same airtime. Maybe,
Oh,
maybe I'm not talking as much on here as
I
am
do
on there.
feel like that you have this is an outlet for you. And when Justin came on, he kind of took some of your outlet a little bit.
No, I don't.
And I think when he's away, then you want to step up and you
no,
want to
I
flex
don't.
more.
I don't feel that way. I think that Justin's the funniest guy on the
No,
show.
no, you're
so I like
very
for
happy
him-
that he's on the show.
Yeah. So I
I'm
like
not
for
saying
him to be able,
otherwise.
and he also has his life is horrible, and as a result, you know, those stories tend to be funnier. You know what I mean? So yeah, I definitely want him to get. You know,
Okay, let's just put it in a Ravens perspective. Let's
Sure.
say that the Zayflower is a good receiver. But if Jamar Chase came in, clearly he's a better receiver,
Mhm.
maybe the best in the league, at least
Yeah.
in the conversation.
right?
He's then going to get more balls.
Yes,
But then Zay is going to like that because the team will be better.
right.
But he still might
Might want to.
long for the days where he was getting 100
Every
targets.
story that I have to
Mhm.
tell about what's going on in my life,
Mhm.
everybody is aware of it. They know that I don't have a wife anymore.
That's
They
true,
know
yes.
that sauna has been used once and it's sitting over there. They know that I have a roommate who's getting ready to come on here and shit all over me. You should subscribe to the Patreon.
Yeah, it's
to hear-
coming that time of the month
that's-
with Mario.
That's coming for sure.
Could be
yeah.
a 3-hour episode.
They know I have. They know I have 4 midshipmen that I sponsor.
That's true.
Yeah.
You're putting together a
By
football
the way,
team.
Jackson is coming. He's going to come to the beach. So I'm leaving Ocean City with my boys. My boys won't stay the entire time.
All right.
So at the they'll probably leave on the 4th, something like that. And then Jackson is going to come up.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Let's say Jackson is a good-looking guy. He's going to get his pick of women. Let's say that in 7-8 years he gets married. Do you think you'll be invited?
Oh, 100, without a doubt, I'll be invited.
Do you think the other will be invited?
No.
Okay.
I don't.
Ah.
I don't. Well, I mean, and it makes sense.
Right.
Because first of all, it would be uncomfortable and you don't want that at your wedding.
Of course not. Yeah.
But in addition to that, they don't have any kind of relationship
Good.
anymore. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Good.
No.
I mean, he lives in Annapolis. I live in
What's
Annapolis.
more likely?
Yeah.
You, me, and Mario are invited, or none of us are invited?
Huh, that's a good question. So you would have to become more involved than you are right now.
Well, we have years. He's not getting married in this hypothetical
this
until
is his,
2030.
This is his sophomore year.
Yeah, he's not ready to get married.
I think it's much more likely because I have him for 3 more. I don't know how long Mario's going to be. He's welcome to
You
stay.
have him for 3 more years?
I have Jackson for 3 more years.
Wow.
His truck is now parked in my driveway.
Is
You
this
see that?
going to be the greatest relationship of your life,
But
other than your
the only-
children?
The only one that didn't fail. No. It's. I'm in a new relationship. We'll discuss it more as the show
wow.
goes on. Yeah, I am in a new
Okay.
relationship. So
Are we talking about Mario or are we talking about somebody else?
it's actually somebody that I get to put my wiener inside of.
Hey,
Mario does not.
Dave's
he's not-
inviting you to the Sky Bar on the 5th.
Hell yeah, Dave! I'll be there. I'll be there for sure. So yeah, and Mario's coming down too. So
Nice.
Mario will also be at the beach.
Shit.
So all the men I love will.
Yeah,
will-
yeah.
will
We're going to be
there.
doing a show, trying to make money for you to
Yeah.
survive your
Well,
lifestyle.
I mean,
now.
I'm going down there with my boys,
kidding.
and then
You-
yeah,
I know
yeah,
it's a tradition.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
tradition.
yeah.
It's a
So
you know
it's
you got to be back by the
Mhm.
7th, right?
I know. Believe me, I'll
Yes,
be back by the
we went over
7th.
that
I know.
last year.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and let me tell you that too. So this is I'll tell it cryptically. So they need fill-ins for that Monday, the
Mhm.
Monday after the 4th. And Chris is like, can you fill in? And I'm like, yeah. Now, of course, I can't produce a morning show. You follow what I'm saying? So but
Sure.
no big deal because usually I have C4, I have Brian Neiman. One of them are there.
Are you on BAL? Dude?
I'm on BAL.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, Chris, be as candid as you can. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Mhm.
I think I do a pretty good job on BAL.
You do.
Yeah,
very-
yeah.
very good job.
I'm okay on BAL. I do a good job there. So, but I also like to have somebody who's an anchor, and I don't have that this time.
No.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
On a scale of 1 to 10, how stressed are you about a anchorless Joe? 9.
8. No, I'll be honest with you.
I think you just were.
Joe being there makes me more comfortable than Joe not being there with the options that are there.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
that are out
I'm
there.
what's it called? The path of least resistance.
Yes.
The best
Right.
rated fill-in holiday show that we had was Joe Robinson and Brent Harris, which got a 7 share, which I know to
Talking football, Ravens.
no, just it was on the morning.
Oh,
And they filled in doing a morning. And they
Nice.
did a little bit of sports, but they also did politics, and they sit on the different sides of each other.
yeah.
And it was the highest rated holiday show we have ever had in 20 years.
Did you know this?
I did know it. I did.
Okay. That's
I don't-
awesome.
I don't take a lot of pride in that because
You should.
I have a feeling people turn the radio on and that nobody said, "Oh my God, Joe Robinson's on appointment
no,
radio."
no. Most people just turn it on and whatever. But,
Yeah,
but the ones that kept it on, or maybe they heard about, that's a good feather in your cap, Joe. It's not by
You
accident.
don't get a 7 share by people just randomly turning it on.
I'm trying to get my text through to Tommy to see how many fights he's been
Yeah.
in, and it won't go through.
I think you should be proud of that, Joe Robinson. I'm proud of you for that. Put it on your new bio that hasn't been updated in
I bring it
25
up
years.
all the time.
All the time?
Every time we do a holiday show, I'm
Go
like,
on.
let's have Joe and somebody else.
Do you brag about me sometimes? Because I know I'm feeling left out.
I
Do you
would
ever
love
do-
to have you on?
Hey, Rob, can Rob do that
No,
morning show with
I
me?
try to avoid the mornings. So
Oh man, I would love to do that show
No.
with you.
If you guys did that show, I would get a call at 6 o'clock from somebody saying you got to pull them off the air.
Really?
guarantee
Why?
it.
Why would they have a problem with Rob
I
and
don't know why. We
I
can
think
bounce
we'd be
things.
good
yeah,
at it.
Yeah, I'm not super political in any fashion, to be honest. I can toe the line. I can push back.
Who's going to produce the show?
Like, who's going to come up with topics?
Yeah.
Me.
Oh, you are.
Yeah.
Oh,
because-
fine. Okay.
All right,
perfect.
you-
All right,
you have a
good.
topic.
Yes.
Block A, Lifetime movies.
Yeah.
Because the-
Library hours.
Oh, 100% that's
Yeah,
going on.
Rain.
breakfast versus
Yeah.
brunch. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want you to talk about those Hallmark movies.
Yes.
Yeah. It's funny. It was raining today. It rained pretty hard today.
Yeah.
And I think it was it 2 podcasts ago that you got upset? You were upset about
Yeah.
with the rain.
I
It
texted the
would've
group
been
chat.
now,
I
yeah.
still want to come tonight. You have to take on your rival.
Yeah, that one was there. I love them all. I think honestly, this new one is probably my favorite. I just
Yeah.
love it. The rain one, oh no, that's not true. The grocery aisle one was probably
No, that was my
favorite.
favorite. That was my
Yeah,
favorite.
yeah, because he got mad because people would have 16 items
Yeah.
in the 15 item.
They just opened a Weiss next to my house.
Oh no,
And
that poor manager.
I went in the grand opening day and every line was packed, right? Because it's a grand opening. So I waited around a little bit until they the line started to go through a little. And I went in the 12 items or less line, and the guy in front of me had 13 items. I was so fucking angry. I just put my shit down and walked out. I was like what do we, why?
I don't need these Cheerios.
You are just opening. You should be sticking to a standard, and you don't have that standard.
If you're
on
going to
the first
start
day.
letting things go day one,
Yeah.
what's it going to look like on day?
That's a
yeah.
good point.
Ridiculous.
God.
Ah.
So I just got back from Wyoming, North Dakota, and South Dakota, 3 new states.
Mhm.
We have now hit 46. We'll hit Montana with this golf trip here in a month from now. That'll get me to 47.
Oh, what's
are you
left?
missing?
That leaves Idaho, New Mexico, and Maine.
Wow.
And I posted about this, and somebody was pretty good dig at me jokingly, like, whatever, you were in Vermont, but you didn't go to Maine. you were right there, New Hampshire. You think you were just
Yeah.
one step and you had it. Yeah, that's a fair point. Okay. So that's the final 3. This week, Joe, it's about a Joe. David Koechner brought a guy that's going to help him work on some writing things. He's going to be with us on the road the next few weeks. Joe O'Brien, very cool guy. He wrote for years for Craig Ferguson show. He's wrote on so many Comedy Central roasts, Lifetime writer, not Lifetime Network writer.
Yeah.
He
but
wrote his whole life.
I was gonna say,
He walks out.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Flips the table
Yeah,
over.
motherfucker. So I guess maybe I feel the need to, like, if there's a new person in the group, to like impress. So I felt like I was particularly like good this weekend at comedy and at like talking to people and at just hitting on women. And there's it's not for here, but like we had a good weekend in terms of women enjoying me on stage. Don't get weird, Brittany.
Okay.
But I did run into a bachelorette party.
How many bachelorettes?
5 or 6, right?
Okay.
And I posted
How
some
many
photos.
were fat?
They were a mixed bag. They're probably listening. The one is. I posted a lot of photos with the bride, with wearing funny sunglasses.
Okay.
But I did and I like to get his perspective because he was watching me for the first time and seeing I interact. And I did a really good job because at the bar, the hotel we were staying at, it's probably the nicest hotel in this little area in Fargo, the Jasper. And a lot of people that were at the show were then at said hotel. And there was just 2 couples that we had messed around with. And I did a good job of like talking to them, but then getting out of it so it didn't become our whole night. Because at this point, Dave is in bed. And then there's this bachelorette party, and I just say to Joe, I'm like, we're gonna infiltrate this, okay? This not from a sexual standpoint, it's just gonna be entertaining.
Got it.
And of course,
Do they know him?
they didn't know Joe, they didn't know me, and Joe's not someone you would know.
Okay.
They knew David Koechner.
Okay.
And the girl was like, oh my God, Todd Packer was just here. Now he had literally walked past them when they were there. And to make them feel better, goes, no. He had actually already left when you were down here. And then Joe goes, no, he walked right past you. I'm like, I was lying to them. I was trying to make them feel better, right? So of course we get into like the classic Rob Mayer like games of like the 3, 2, 1 band or DJ at the wedding. And then I take it into a sexual route. Because she talked about knowing them for 2 years before they started dating. I go, 3, 2, 1. Did you have sex before your first date? yes. And then, of course, she goes, yes. So now we're down this road. So
Wait a minute, hold on. She had sex before what?
she knew this guy for 2 years,
Okay.
but their first official date was 2 years into knowing him.
Oh, so she
And
did they
I
have sex
said,
before that. Okay.
had you already had sex before the official first
Yeah.
date? Me already getting the vibe that it was a yes,
yes,
right?
okay.
And of course, I said yes. He said no. Then we started arguing about what's a date. So it's a good conversation.
Okay.
We go our separate ways. Then we end up randomly in the same fucking bar because it's this little strip and this karaoke bar. And then they say they're going to come to the trivia show,
Oh, hell yeah.
which is 3 hours away.
Okay.
Now, they don't all live in Fargo, but some live actually in Sioux Falls where we're going. But 4 of them show up and I give them tickets. I meet the fiance. She said, looked like Taylor Lautner, and she wasn't lying. He's a very good liar.
Okay.
That's the guy from fucking.
Yeah, I know exactly who it is. He's the wolf. He's the
There you go.
the werewolf from Twilight,
There you go.
right?
They end up
He was
winning.
in Spy Kids.
Yes.
Continue.
They win the trivia. They win the trivia.
They won it.
Yes, they meet David Koechner.
They're the ones
Wow.
who do like the little performance at the end.
Yes, they won it.
Okay.
He gets to sit on my lap and say, I'm getting a boner, which is a scene from the thing.
Right.
They crush it. I'm now invited to the wedding.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yes.
When is it?
It's October 11th.
So October 11th.
I'm not going.
Yeah, no, of course you're not going to go. You would have to go to Fargo.
What are the
North Dakota?
library hours in October? Oh, it's actually in Minneapolis.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not much better, but
No, it's
a
not.
little,
It's
a little
not.
bit
It's
better.
cold there.
It's a little bit
But
better.
I feel like I've made I can't follow the wedding because I have to be on. Like I've already crushed,
Oh, I see.
and now I can't just show up and
And
own the
it's-
wedding.
It's not your day.
But I would make it my day.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
I can't
No,
do that
I've
to
definitely
right?
been to some
Joe.
weddings where I've tried to be tried to take attention away from the bride.
Yeah.
I've definitely done that. Can I tell a quick Maine story?
Oh, I love a Maine story. Never said that since.
So I've been to Maine. I went on a trip with my grandparents. My brother and I went. I was probably 10. He was probably 12,
Mhm.
something like that. Maybe
Yeah.
11 and 13.
So you've been to Maine. All right.
But that's how old we are. And we go in my grandparents' camper and we go up to Maine. And we're there for 8 days
Wow.
in Maine. We're camping at different places on the way up or whatever. And every day we had a lobster. We ate a lobster every day.
Good living.
Hey, 7 of those, Red Lobster. No lie. Went to Maine and we ate at Red Lobster.
I don't see the
7 of
problem.
these.
Okay.
7 of
You know
these.
they have a new CEO. They're rebranding. It's supposed to be a big comeback.
Do they still have the lobsters?
They still do.
Do
They
they
have
still
a
have the-
seafood boil now.
Do they still have the cheddar bay biscuits?
You can't get rid of the cheddar.
Well, then, yeah.
There's-
I mean, it's
No point to
Absolutely.
be open though.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
I
Don't
gotcha.
have the
How do you
biscuits.
rebrand it? What are
you
they
just
gonna...
say you're rebranding,
All right, I gotcha.
and then you just add a new menu item, and then people start talking about it. So,
Mhm.
so I posed this with Marianne last week. I had a great time with Marianne filling in for Kirk last week. What do you think I should try to, if I could manipulate this so that my 50th state I could control when I'd go and how it would play out? Not a comedy gig, but a vacation. What do you think would be the better of the 3 choices between New Mexico,
Oh.
Idaho, and Maine?
I think it's pretty obvious, right?
I don't know.
I mean, New Mexico would be the best, right? Because it's warm.
Well, I can go whenever I want
I
in
would
this
say,
scenario.
yeah,
I
but-
would say Maine for sure.
What's so great about what's they up to there in Maine?
I think Idaho has better golf courses.
Idaho would be my last. What do you know about Idaho?
I know it's beautiful.
Xavier McDaniel, Napoleon Dynamite.
Okay.
It's the only thing I know about Idaho.
What do you know about Maine? I know there's a Red Lobster that's open 7 straight days.
Nick Kaner medleys from there.
You're okay. You're saying Maine. No, you're saying New
That's in
Mexico.
Maine.
You're saying
Yeah.
Maine. I'm saying Idaho.
Yeah.
Well, we have a. You know what?
Well,
That's a
you
poll.
you're the
Poll
one
question.
making. You're the one making the
Poll
decision.
question.
I think I
for
might
the
win. I think
Patreon.
I might win this one.
You might
Although
win that.
they love Carlheim, so Maine will probably win.
Yeah.
but I'm pretty sure I'm right about it being also meth
I'm at a new math, Joe.
Where is meth?
in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
He wants to go.
Breaking
I can do
Bad.
Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
True.
Scenery and fucking.
yeah. They got
Take
those
the Breaking Bad tour.
cow skulls and
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I look. I think those are 3 actually good states. You shit on Idaho.
Oh, I think
but
Idaho is a shit state.
I think Idaho's a beautiful.
I think
state.
Idaho's a shit state.
the
too.
gem state.
It's beautiful and they have golf course.
My
Why-
old afternoon host is from Idaho, so I'm gonna say it's a shit.
Why
state.
do you keep saying it's beautiful?
Look, Google Idaho.
Listen, I'm
You can't
sure.
go off of Google.
Hey, right, you can't do that. Here, let me tell you something. So Maryland, we have
Can't
the
even fucking
ocean.
Spell it right. Oh
We-
fuck Maryland with the fucking.
We have the ocean. We have the mountains. We have all 4 seasons. Idaho's not better than Maryland.
What?
And
You know Maryland doesn't have that.
No, it doesn't have that.
It doesn't have these fucking
But it's got the
lakes and
Chesapeake
canyons.
Bay. It
Eric
sure as
County.
fuck
Every
got-
state has beauty.
It's
I'm not
got
acting
the
like
biggest-
it doesn't, but Maryland
right.
doesn't have that.
No, but we do have mountains.
DC doesn't have beauty.
We do have the largest freshwater, saltwater
Why?
estuary
This is
in
not,
the entire.
I'm not saying one is better. I'm saying that Idaho isn't some shit state that has
Listen,
nothing to offer.
If you Google beautiful sites in state X, you're going to see something like that no matter where you are. Google New Jersey. Yeah, rank the most beautiful states. See where Idaho.
Fuck off. Why is it talking to me now? God damn it. Now it's like a Google talk thing.
Stupid Apple.
All right.
Montana's going to be up there.
I'm going to Montana with the boys.
Yeah.
If you played golf, you'd be going with us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
States and God, I can't type so bad.
No.
ranking.
Yeah, there's got to be a ranker for this, right?
Is there?
There's a ranker for
We'll go to Reddit. All 50 states ranked.
All right. We'll take whatever they say, I'll go with.
California,
That's one.
Alaska.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Yes.
No, it's already
You
described.
just said you go for it. Washington,
Okay.
Hawaii, Utah,
Okay.
Arizona, Wyoming, Oregon, Maine, Montana, Michigan, Idaho 13. Idaho's 13. It's ahead of New Mexico and it's ahead of Maryland. So fuck off.
What's
Okay.
last on that list?
Are you looking for beauty? Is that it? Beauty is what
Kansas
you want?
is last.
You want-
Kansas, yeah.
Yeah,
Kansas
because
is pretty.
no, but it's
No,
just
it's
flat. and
Maryland's
it's all-
35.
Yeah. Yeah. See, that just goes to show you those guys don't
You
know
know
what they're
what?
talking about.
Let's fucking, you know what? Let's not take a break. We're going to take a break, but I want you to turn up the thing because I'm going to play the Joe Robinson Experience is back, people. It's back. He recorded it. I listened to the whole thing, and he's inspired by Kelsey. He recorded it. I listened to the whole thing. I got to fucking mute this. Sorry. And let's hear a little bit from the Joe Robinson Experience, available July 8th on Patreon Palooza.
I want to broach a subject for this episode that it was actually inspired by Kelsey's Shark Tank podcast, where she asked the question, she posed the question, am I weird? And then, of course, I only heard a couple of them. Very excited to hear the rest. Of course, one of them was that she sits the opposite way on a toilet and goes to the bathroom, which I think is absolutely hilarious. And I love that that actually occurs. I just don't understand the advantage. But I will tell you that I tried it afterwards, and it's completely uncomfortable. The toilet seat is obviously built to accommodate someone sitting forward. But nevertheless, you know, it's the same as when you're younger, you're kissing, like we talked about kissing the mirror. You know, you try things out. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. In Kelsey's case, it worked, and she decided to sit in the opposite direction. I don't know if she does that half the time, a quarter of the time, 75% of the time. I don't know the answer. But I'm not going to explore, am I weird? I don't. I think there's some things I do that are weird and some things that I do that aren't. But what I do want to explore, and what I'm hoping the answer to is no, is, am I white trash?
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah, I make a pretty compelling argument.
You did.
That I am.
And Dave Dennis, I know you're listening. I would like you to make a image for am I ... question mark. I feel like the Am I series started by you, Kelsey. 100%. You get this. You know, am I weird? Am I white trash? Am I dumb? Am I whatever? Am I fucking too confident? Am I under whatever you want to? Am I? I feel like it's a throwing out to the listeners. RobMayer@gmail.com. Hit me. You want to record a little am I whatever? We'll play it, post it, and give you some love and answer that question for you.
I have a question about which kind of toilet you sat on reverse. Was it like your home toilet?
Yeah, my home toilet.
So you had like the tabletop there?
What do you mean? Like the you
Like
never
the
thought
back
about
of the
that?
toilet?
Yeah, you could use that to maybe eat a
activities.
meal or something. Yeah, put your laptop,
Put your laptop
on.
on, be on
You
Zoom.
can,
Yeah.
you can do work and take a shit at the same time.
Yeah.
Like
God,
it's a bigger phone, basically.
that I probably still, it wasn't super comfortable, but if they could actually find a way to put the tank in the front and you just straddle it where the seat is.
Is that what you're doing in the back?
No, because the seat is, I'm telling you, it's going to feel different when you sit the other way on it. It doesn't, the seat is not a perfect oval. It's literally tapered to accommodate your rear end and your legs.
So
Rear end
in
of
the
1,000.
in the third floor bathroom at work, if I hear Justin come in, I'll turn around and face the other way on the toilet just to see if it gets his attention because he always sees my feet or puts his hand underneath or some shit like that.
Yeah, well, that's a different thing.
That's a different
The Justin's in there. That's
Justin.
you know it's going to get weird. But I'll tell you this.
Hold
I
on.
don't.
You said the word rear end. I want to explore that, but go on.
Yeah, I don't. Yes, we can touch on that. But I mentioned that about Kelsey going. I said we have a listener. I didn't say her name.
Yeah.
And Marion goes, who? I go, well, it's Kelsey. She won a prize yesterday. I did. I don't know if
She
Kelsey
called
heard
in that same day. Yeah.
Yeah. I said, hey, yeah, no, we have a listener that sits the other way on the toilet and takes her clothes off before she goes to the bathroom. You know, how often I've thought about that since I heard
Every
that.
day.
I have thought about it every day. Have you?
I like her more.
Oh no,
I already liked her a lot.
I liked her more
I like
too
her more.
immediately, but as soon as she said she did that, I'm not obsessing over it. It's not obsessing,
Yeah.
but it's not some casual fun.
I'm intrigued.
Yes,
Intrigued is the word.
Intrigued is the right word. It is the right word.
Because you know what? Maybe we've all been going to the bathroom wrong. Maybe there's other things that we should be rethinking.
But she doesn't do it all the time. So.
No, but Justin has obviously talked about a new way to masturbate, and maybe we're just learning about these staples, the things you do in life that are your everyday things, brushing your teeth and shitting and jerking off.
I will
things
say
that I do every day.
that it's got to be more comfortable than sitting sideways.
Sideways is not
sideways
gonna
on
work.
the toilet.
Yeah. What about standing?
Stand to go.
Chris has got his phone.
Yeah,
on.
who's calling? Is it the station?
That's an
Yeah,
alarm.
you're in trouble.
Yeah.
You said the word rear end, Joe.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
God.
If you're not famous, but you look like a Brablo or somebody super hot,
Yeah.
right? But you're not famous. You're not that person.
All right.
Can you pull off hitting on a 23-year-old saying, hey, you got a nice rear end? Because it sounds fucking pretty creepy.
I don't know that I would ever say to a girl.
Have you ever said that?
Of course, I've said that I've said it to the current girl that I'm seeing.
Her rear end?
I haven't said rear end.
I mean, literally rear end.
Oh, I'll say it the next time and tell you how she reacts.
Okay.
All right.
Because, that's a term
Yeah,
that no one uses as a flirtatious term.
Or bottom.
They say, I got hit in the rear end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I say, oh my God, your rear end looks so good. Yeah.
I
That's
mean,
going to definitely.
It's going to be a show
I'll
title.
do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. And I'll let you know. I'll report back.
All right.
Yeah.
Rear end.
And on the next podcast,
God, I got to get
Joe
in that
broke up
rear
with
end.
girl.
Get a work in rear end. I'm literally searching rear end.
Yeah. Now, by the way, I will say that's not going to be fun for me because
well, it was your idea.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Said
but
it.
I mean, there's places you try to get when you're being intimate.
Yeah.
And if you say something that kind of ruins where the direction is going, you
Okay.
have to start over.
Can you say this?
Go ahead.
Can I eat your rear end?
Yeah. She'll let me say anything to her. She
Okay.
wouldn't give a shit about
But
that.
can you say it with a straight face?
No, she'll laugh for sure. I'm going to eat your rear end. I'll say it. I promise I'll say
Then
it.
I want to retire for the night.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll say
Back
it.
to my quarter.
Yeah. I
Better
will
than
say
I
that.
want to lick your bottom.
Yeah.
'Cause
Oh,
that sounds pretty bad.
okay.
I'll say
What do you think's worse? I want to eat your rear end or lick your bottom?
lick your bottom is worse because bottom's
Yeah.
bad and eat
Mhm.
is there's something kind of hot about that.
Mhm.
You know, if you say I'm going to
Yeah.
eat your ass, it's kind of hot. But if you say I want to eat your rear end,
Yeah.
then the rear end it super
Yeah.
takes away
Right,
and
right.
it's over with. But I want to lick your bottom.
I want to go down on your bottom.
I think lick your bottom's worse.
Can I make
feel
love
like-
to your bottom hole?
Yeah. Now bottom hole.
Yeah.
The hole changes it
Yeah.
a little bit. Once you say hole, it's back to kind of
All right. Can we
Regular.
use hole in a good way?
no.
I want to
hole's
be in your
fine.
hole.
But
I
hole's
don't- it's
kind of
not fine.
I want to plug your hole.
yeah.
I think these are bad. These are all bad.
I'll say any of
I'll
them.
plug that
I'm
hole.
single, so I'm not very
I'll
good.
say any
Yeah.
of these things. I'll say and I'll let you know how it goes.
Can you throw in pecker?
I'll throw. I'm gonna put my
Can I-
pecker in your bottom hole.
Can I pecker your rear end?
Yeah.
You're not saying that.
Can I pecker your rear end?
Right.
100%.
Okay.
I'll say it.
With you wouldn't say it with a new girl.
No. But I'll.
You
not
couldn't get away
that
with-
can't be somebody the first time.
No,
No.
it's over.
No. But
Is
by
it
the
though?
way, yeah. If you said, God, but not the way you can't look like me and say I'm going to pecker your rear end in the first.
You have to then make a joke. You can't act like it's
I'll
serious.
tell you what. I swear to you, I won't. I won't laugh. I'll say a dead pecker.
Okay.
Okay. Which
All right.
one am I saying?
We're gonna give you 10 things to say.
Okay, I'll say all of them.
Not
Once I
in one
say-
session.
Once I say
One
well,
session.
I
It doesn't have
say
to
it.
be. It can be multiple sessions.
Okay, I say
All
it,
right.
and then I
Yeah.
act like it's a perfectly normal thing.
I want you to
say.
say this.
Go ahead.
I had a dream last night about your rear end.
Okay, I'll do. Yes, 100%.
All
I'll
right.
say that tonight.
All right. All right. I want to put a digit in your bottom hole.
A digit, like a finger.
Yes.
I want to put a digit in your bottom hole. All right, I'll do it. I'll say any of
Yeah.
this stuff.
My
gotta
unit, my
remember-
unit wants to meet your back door.
Yeah, your brown eye.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're getting ridiculous. now.
we are. It's gonna happen. though.
My digit wants to meet your brown eye.
Brittany, 3 single men, folks. I think we're finding out why. Can I
Yeah.
Woody Woodpecker your end? Say that.
Can
Say
I
that.
Woody
Woody
Woodpecker your rear end?
Yes.
Can
That might
I-
actually work.
All right.
Yeah.
And then I'll go ha 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 ha. All right, I'll do it. All right, I'll do it. If it works, it works.
By the way, I think we're at about 45, 10, like you said. I think we are.
Yeah, he might be at 5.
Exactly.
He did was the
Uh,
one that said lick your bottom. That was
He did. That was a
Chris'
Karlheim.
Yeah,
There's no reason to just
Yeah.
talk if I don't have anything to say.
Can
As
we?
a
Can
res-
I? Can I request this?
Sure.
Here's. No one asked for this about you with relationships. Something because you complain about
Yeah.
everyday things. Is there some relationship things that you want to complain about, or maybe a person, a woman in your past? You don't have to
Oh,
name her name, but
I
like,
could easily complain about an ex-girlfriend,
I'm
and I
sure
will
you-
name their name. I
Oh,
have no
really?
issue
Are you
with
are
that
you
at all.
angry about an
Yeah.
ex-girlfriend?
Yes.
What happened?
So I dated this girl, Sarah. She was a PhD doctor.
No, I was
Not
going to
a-
say dumb bitch, but that's not
Nope.
clearly not
No.
true.
they're the
yeah.
opposite. Yeah.
The past couple girlfriends have all been like, one was a dentist. This
Where do you
last-
meet these women online?
Online.
Nice.
Yeah.
What are you on? What app?
At the time, it was Hinge. I haven't been
Okay.
on an
Do you
app
pay
in-
for? I don't know anything about dating.
No,
apps.
it's free.
It's free, so you go
Yeah.
on there. I think my son met his girlfriend. They live together, long-term girlfriend
Mhm.
on Hinge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's easier because you can write some stuff about you, and the other ones are more about your pictures.
Okay.
So I feel like you get a more intelligent relationship from the Hinge,
All right.
but it also has been breakups on all of them.
Okay.
So Sarah went to Italy with her family
Okay.
and asked me to watch her cat and help her brother replace the refrigerator.
And you were
Okay.
dating at this point.
How
dating.
long?
How long we've been dating?
Yeah.
9 months.
Okay.
Okay.
So the real relationship.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
real relationship. Okay.
And then her mom calls me from Italy
Uh-huh.
and says, I have some bad news. And I thought at first that something happened, like she, broke her arm
Yeah.
or whatever. I walked in on Sarah having sex with a guy yesterday.
Whoa. Hold them.
The mom called me.
Hey, Chris, we could have led with this.
My bad.
What?
My parents love me.
Okay,
for
no,
some reason.
I understand
Her
that.
parents
Yeah,
called
her
you
parents
called
called
me.
me.
to say that we walked in on our daughter cheating on you. Her rear end was in his
Yes,
pecker was buried
Here's
in her
how
rear
I
end.
knew because her
Yes.
rear end was in the air,
Yeah.
and I
Her
saw his,
derriere.
I saw her hole and his Woody Woodpecker.
Yeah.
It was so
She tells you.
the mom tells me.
Yeah.
So when I asked Sarah when she comes back, she goes, "Oh, that didn't happen." I was like, "Your mom called me." She goes, "My mom was drunk." I was like, "Your mom doesn't drink. What are we talking about?"
Okay, wait a minute. You kept watching the cat.
Oh, I love that cat.
Okay.
He fucked the cat.
Did you help?
That cat was
Please
great.
tell me the refrigerator was already moved at this
Yeah.
point.
We had moved in the refrigerator.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So actually, the microphone that I record the podcast on is her microphone that I never returned. After
Good.
we broke
Fuck
up.
Good.
that bitch.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
so,
why the anger. It's every time he looks at it, he just thinks of her and gets mad.
so you thought she tried to say it wasn't me or whatever.
Brittany's
yeah.
saying it's hey, you're in Italy. What's she gonna do? Not bang an Italian?
I mean, yeah,
I
just admit that
paraphrased
you
it.
did
I
it.
gotta imagine if Steph went over to Italy.
Exactly. Jesus, that boot.
So that was it. She came back. You broke up with her.
So she denied it.
She denied
Did
it.
you keep pressing, or did you
I did
accept
keep
her
pressing.
denial?
No,
she
no,
wanted
no,
to
I
say
kept-
what she wanted to say together, though.
All right.
No, she wanted to break up after that because I screamed at her.
Oh, so she gaslit you.
So you're the bad
she
guy
turned it into
for
yeah.
yelling.
I got
Obviously,
it.
it's my fault because I have anger issues.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I had anger issues when we met.
No,
Yeah.
but that's something legitimately to get
Who
angry
would
about.
be
her,
angry at that?
her leaving and fucking
Yeah.
another guy.
I go to the country and fuck guy. This guy gets angry. What a weirdo. God, get your
Yeah,
life
I
together.
just couldn't handle how upset he got when I cheated on him.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys broke up. Now, how long ago was this?
2022.
No, this wasn't
I
that
was
long
going to say
ago.
20
No.
years ago.
Yeah.
No.
So 2022. Have you
Okay.
have you seen anybody since?
Yes and no. I
Okay.
haven't had a long-term girlfriend.
What's the longest girlfriend that you've had?
Since her?
Yeah.
3 months.
Why do you think that is?
Work schedule.
Because you work. You're
Yeah,
not.
You do work a lot.
You're not available.
I'm at
No.
I'm at the age where everybody has kids.
It's a bad
and
age.
the kids are young.
You'll get past it like
and
me.
and so,
Get to the other side.
So it's like, can you hang out Friday night? Like, yeah, I'll be there at 8. I'm like, I can't do 8. The kids will be in bed by 9. Like, I can't get there earlier. It's Oriole season or it's Ravens
Yeah.
season. And it's like, I can try. And recently I've been better about leaving on time
Yeah.
or earlier. But for the most part, it's hard.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
also, if you date somebody, you have to date them where you live. You live in Frederick,
Yeah.
and you
Frederick's
work.
a cool town.
You
though.
work. Yeah, I
It's
know,
okay.
but it's no matter what he's doing, you have to add an
Yeah.
hour and a half to the end of your
Yeah.
workday.
At that time of night, it's probably an hour.
That's
and I drive swiftly. So
Yes.
like I got here without traffic. I would have got here in 35 minutes.
Yeah.
But with traffic, it took me an hour and 10.
How many tickets do you have?
Tickets to what?
Tickets.
Speeding tickets.
Oh, I don't have any.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah,
He's too tall.
3 DUIs.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. That,
No speeding tickets.
What's the ratio of DUI versus speeding ticket? That's the equivalent of 50 speeding tickets. I think.
Probably.
Now,
In your bio online, do you lead with how tall you are? Because that's
No.
do you let them figure that out when you get there?
So the top thing is
Do you have a
tell-
picture
tell about
you
yourself.
next to a normal sized person?
well, my height is like in the top, like it's your height, your
There's a
age, your
basic-
weight.
what are you?
age-
6'10", 6'11", 6'10".
Yeah,
Okay.
6'10", 245.
Okay, big dick.
No.
But
I
it-
don't
it's-
tell them that. I let them
Sure.
Yeah,
surprise
yeah. You already
Sure.
told
I mean,
us
it's
it's
not a
7.5
huge
inches.
dick.
We already
Yeah,
know how
yeah,
big
yeah,
your
yeah.
dick is.
Sorry for
Thank
being
you.
so
Yeah,
small.
yeah.
Sorry.
It is actually
Yeah.
small for
Yeah.
his height,
It
but
is.
it's giant
But
for
it's
a
probably the
regular
perfect
person.
size for what a woman wants. So.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's a nice.
Gotta hope it's
a
smaller.
nice size. I've heard.
Right. Yeah.
I would
yeah.
like the Shiopia agenda to draw their perfect size dick and talk about it on an episode. There you go.
Well, that's
That would be
not
good.
fair for Ariel. She'll have to draw Tim's, and it'll look
Well,
like,
no,
look like
let's just let. That's true. Nobody has that big a paper.
that. Yeah,
You have
you
a
have to
poster board.
tape 2 pieces of paper together.
So actually, in the bio, I write where I work, and I write my interests, which
Mhm.
are I like video games, and I'm a big
Wow.
RC Cola fan.
Stop.
It
stop,
works. It
stop.
works.
You're telling me you're leading with I
Video
love
games.
video games
Yep.
and I'm a big RC Cola fan.
Who don't love RC?
If you
Cola?
don't
Hold
like
on, hold
RC
on.
Cola, you can get
don't-
the fuck
Yeah,
out.
wait. You don't like RC Cola?
I've never known anyone that says they love RC
Hey,
Cola.
hey, I
I'm
wonder.
not saying I don't like it.
You ever see that scene in Sideways where he's not drinking Merlot? That's when they try to
Yeah.
give Chris a Pepsi.
Yes, exactly.
Don't give me a Pepsi if there's an RC Cola. What-
Well, here's the thing. The problem is that you go to a
He
restaurant.
says that works for
What?
him.
There's a 1 in 1,000 chance they have RC Cola at a restaurant.
Unless
one
it's
in-
Cleveland. Cleveland, they have RC
Is
Cola
that where it
everywhere.
is?
I think
Yeah.
you should do better in Cleveland dating.
Why
Yeah.
is that where it's from?
No, it's from
Idaho. Beautiful Idaho.
West
13th
Virginia.
beautiful state, Joe.
There's a town in West Virginia that has the last surviving plant. I've been there and done the tour because I'm a nerd. I took a date there. No joke.
I think
You took a date to
Yeah.
West Virginia.
I think I might,
RC
I think I
Cola
might
plant.
know your
either.
problem.
Hey, gee, I'm starting to think the Italy girl. I see her point. I see both sides.
Yeah.
He took her to the
Yeah.
fucking.
She's like, talk about Mr. Pibb
Yeah.
while she's
Yeah.
fucking him.
He
Nobody
took her, he
likes
took her to
Mr.
some
Pibb.
wine. He took her to some wine, fucking major wine vineyard in Italy.
Now,
You take her to the RC Cola plant, West Virginia.
Chris does, and we're short on time. Chris does love junk food. He loves
Yeah.
fast food and he loves junk food. That's
Yeah.
also my problem, but I think
Yeah.
because Chris is so tall that
Sure.
he wears it better than I
He
do.
clearly wears.
I
it
I
better.
lost 20 pounds. It's back
Yeah,
for sure,
it
right?
is.
Yeah,
It's back.
and it's because I have an addiction. Do you think you have an addiction?
No.
I definitely
He's
do.
been an
I've had
alcoholic.
an
He knows what an
addiction.
addiction.
No,
feels
no.
like.
not
So
an
it's
addiction.
not. It's not because I'm definitely addicted to sugar and I guess carbohydrates that turn into sugar. 100%.
I mean, I'm drinking 1 energy drink now as opposed to I used to drink 2 liters of diet soda every day.
You drank that Coke Zero upstairs before the show.
Yeah.
In under 2 minutes.
He poked
That's
a
the
hole in
only
the
soda-
bottom and shotgun.
It's the only soda I had all
Then he
day.
spit it out because this isn't
Yeah.
RC Cola.
God, are you like
Fuck
me?
off.
I've talked about this on the show. I love soda. I love it.
Yeah, me
Soda.
I had weaned off it and now I
God.
brought it back into my
Soda's
life
so
a little
good.
bit.
Soda is so.
I don't buy
fucking
it, but
good,
at
man.
at a comedy
Especially
show.
RC Cola.
If soda, I'm sure it's RC Cola. I'd love RC Cola.
All right, Chris, get you out on this. You meet this girl. She checks every box.
Mm-hmm.
You hang out, and then you start talking about why are you interested in me? And she goes, "We talked for your profile. You said this. That was funny, and you thought this. That was funny."
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes, "You know what? I actually hadn't had RC Cola, and I wanted to try it, and I don't like it. It's kind of bad."
But she's great in every other way.
Yeah, it's
All right,
fucking disgusting.
She's what if she also the flip side, you can answer both. What if she loves RC Cola? It's her favorite drink. She has a stock house, but she's a neo-Nazi.
Yeah.
All right, so you where are you on both of these?
So no to the neo-Nazi.
Good.
And,
Good thinking.
Yeah, try to keep his job.
and how pretty is she?
She's your dream girl in every facet.
Oh,
I think I can get over it.
okay. What if she just 10% under your dream girl?
No. RC Cola is delicious.
Okay. What if she's dream girl, RC Cola, 15 items, 13 items or less line, and loves Lifetime movies?
No one loves Lifetime.
Okay. What if she loves the library hours?
Well, then we got something to
What if
talk
she's
about.
like? What if she's like? We got to get the fuck out of here.
What if she
3:30.
loves rain?
No
And
one
Orioles?
likes fucking
She loves-
rain.
She loves baseball delays.
No,
She wants
I
to
would
dance
never
in the
date
rain
a
with
girl
you.
that likes baseball ever again. Get out of here.
All right. Chris Carheim, you're amazing. Thank you for filling in. Justin, hope you're feeling better.
Feel better.
1 week from today, it's the Patreon Palooza. It's bigger than last year. We don't expect you to listen to everything and all in one day you can. Probably going to start like 7:30 a.m. It's going to be
It's a lot of content.
chock full
lot
of
of content.
Some things you never heard before. New podcasts, new episodes, and all of your favorites all in one day. Thank you, guys. See you next week.
See ya.